Hello, good evening. It's our debut Friday night show, and perhaps the best time to begin doing it on a Friday night. Remember, tomorrow the Black Stars are up against Malawi in a 2013 Africa Nations Cup qualifier, and inevitably when the Black Stars are in town, everything comes to a grinding halt. They're staying a few meters away from us at the Alisa Hotel, where people have been camping out just to have a look at them. Tomorrow we'll get a glimpse of them at the Accra Sports Stadium, where they must get the sort of victory that ensures that the return leg in October against Malawi will be a mere formality. We've got interviews with practically everybody who matters in the Black Stars, as Samoa Jan, Dede Ayew, some of the young players. We'll also hear from Malawi coach Kinapiri on how he thinks he can cause an upset at the Accra Stadium, and also go through your tweets at TJ. Omar Farouk is here with me in the studio, so is Yaw Ampofo Ankrah. I'll go to them, but just quickly to let you know, still in tune with issues relating to the Black Stars, and naturally a lot of it dominating the newspapers. The Graphic Sports led with Stars to quench flames, and it's got a story on the side that says the issue of Kevin's return, and then in the inside pages you'll find a few pictures about the Black Stars in their various training sessions. And the 90 minutes leads with the title Battle Ready, and I'm going to start with you, Omar. You've been at every training session practically. Is the team battle ready?
I think so. From what we've been seeing since Tuesday morning, the feeling in camp is that good. It's always been the case ever since Kwesi Appiah took over. The only thing is with Emmanuel Agyemang-Badu, who has stayed out of the group training throughout the course of their sessions. It was confirmed earlier today that he's not going to play because he failed the last fitness test. The players are very confident. The most important thing for the coaches is that the players in camp are of high quality and they are fighting for the slots, so it makes his work quite difficult, and he thinks that eventually when he comes out with the final squad he's going to get the best output. I think this is the very first time I've seen a call-up which has received very few criticisms from the general public, so it makes us feel that yes, of course, the right players who deserve to be there have been called up into the team, and I must admit that the final 11 who are going to start tomorrow will certainly be a strong squad. I'm just concerned about the arrangement on the field of play. If you look at the 24 players selected, I think he had it right, but beyond that you have to look at which players are going to start and how they'll be arranged on the field of play, and if he gets that right, I think it will go a long way to help the Stars against the Malawians. Yeah,
you saw the final training session today. Any tips from who potentially could start, attitude to the game, or how the players will be arranged on the pitch in terms of tactics and all that?
A very good question. I mean, obviously you do get an indication when the coach gives a set bibs and the other set without bibs, and it tells you that one of those sets is likely to be the starting. But in terms of attitude, I think these boys look very serious. Not that they haven't looked serious in the past, but they look determined and are not taking anything for granted, especially the so-called big boys, putting in 100% efforts on the training pitch, not just waiting for the real action to commence. And I think it is a good headache for the coach to have, that it's not a done deal. You shouldn't expect automatic selection. But I'm excited, as many of the fans we spoke to, in regards to who's likely to start. They're very excited to see Kojo Asamoah, because some of them have caught glimpses of him with Juventus, and they're asking if he plays like that for the Black Stars, then we don't have a problem. Asamoah Gyan back leading the squad, Dede Ayew back after his shoulder injury, and a few others. So I think there is also heightened expectations, and the players sort of sense that. You can tell from the atmosphere. Usually at the Accra Sports Stadium, you don't get as many fans as you would Kumasi in a training game, but they turn up in their numbers. That was a good sign.
Well, for those of you who want to be going to the Accra Sports Stadium, I've received a few tweets asking about ticket prices. I'll run them by you a bit later on. I do know, though, that they are not the most expensive. I think the VIP ticket is going for 20 cedis there. There's a 15 cedi price ticket. I think there's
10, 7, 5.
So 20, 10, 7 and 5. I would imagine 5 popular stand. The 7 should be the also stand. The 10 will be the lower VIP, and the 20 the upper VIP. The tickets go on sale sometime around 9 o'clock at the Accra Sports Stadium. Unfortunately, no advance tickets. Malawi, though, are looking to qualify for only their third Nations Cup. They were at the Nations Cup in 1984, and then they were also at the Nations Cup in 2010. And in the run-up to that 2010 Nations Cup, they played the Black Stars in a friendly game in Swaziland, a game that I personally saw. A number of very, very decent players in that squad. So, like a lot of the players have been saying in the build-up to this game, there will be no pushovers. Also remember, Asamoah Gyan will be handed the captain's armband purely on the fact that he's the most capped player. He's inching towards his 60th cap. It was apparently a toss-up between himself and Derek Watson, who's been playing for the team since 2001. But apparently Derek's long spell out meant that it was Asamoah Gyan who got the nod. Good choice, you think?
I think so, and particularly for him, his situation is different because this is the very first time he's going to play a match for the Stars after he ended his self-imposed exile. Last month he was in that squad against China, but he was an unused substitute. I've liked the way he's responded at the training grounds. He looks very confident today. He mentioned at the press conference that he thinks that he's psychologically ready. He's ready to face any challenges in the team. He did mention that the Accra fans are particularly impatient. He did compare that to the Kumasi fans. He was very, very blatant with that fact, and he said he hopes that they'll be very patient with the team tomorrow because they're optimistic of getting them the result. I listened to him when the Deputy Minister of Sports visited the team at the training grounds yesterday, and he spoke like a leader. I mean, he's in a very comfortable mood. Doesn't look like someone who had problems and just returned back into the team. So from what I've seen from their training grounds, especially with Asamoah Gyan, I should think that he's geared up for a game and potentially could end up getting a goal for the Black Stars.
But not everyone is happy with the choice, though. We have to say.
Well, I mean that's to be expected. Not everybody would be happy, but a wise, I think, matured decision by Kwesi Appiah eventually. I mean, he had to weigh a lot of factors, and I'm sure a lot of I wouldn't say forces, but a lot of people would have been advising him on the pros and cons of whoever he decides to choose. But I think ultimately you look at Asamoah Gyan, and I think Kwesi Appiah has made the right choice for several reasons. The team within the camp, Asamoah Gyan is well respected. As Omar said, communication is key. He's quite a matured player. He knows when there's pressure and how to perhaps take some of that pressure off the younger players. And the issue of there being a crisis with the captaincy, I think maybe the media sort of overblew that. And it's been received well within the camp. He's responded well. The few times he's spoken as a leader, and he keeps saying we, which is a good sign. On the pitch, he's been talking to the other players, and he would have learned from the past. He would have learned from other captains, especially Stephen Appiah. So I think Asamoah Gyan, maybe not a favourite choice for some, but I think the wisest choice for the coach. I think he knows exactly who can communicate with the other players on the pitch for him.
Remember this weekend, these days when there are international games, it spreads really across Africa, Asia, Europe, South America, and there have been a lot of European teams engaged in action today. A lot of you very, very much into what England does. They won 5-0 away at Moldova at the start of their 2014 qualifiers. One team that I think a lot of people should be looking out for has to be Belgium. They won 2-0 away against Wales. Italy, finalists at the Euro Championships, drew 2-2 against Bulgaria. Holland won 2-0 against Turkey. Unfortunately for Arsenal fans, Robin van Persie scored a goal. And Russia began their term under Fabio Capello with a 2-0 victory over Northern Ireland, while Portugal finally seemed to have gotten Cristiano Ronaldo in a much better mood because he scored the opening goal for them to draw them level in a 2-1 win against Luxembourg. Helder Postiga with a winning goal for the Portuguese. Now, everybody seems to be talking about the Accra fans, but we've got to give the guys some credit. You know, if you're not playing well, what are the fans supposed to do? Cheer you up?
Yeah, today was interesting. For a long time, I mean, I think the mood was good. The energy, the players keep talking about energy. We can feel the energy and the support, and you can feel when you're under pressure, they get behind you. It was a training session. We can't read too much into that, but it was quite a warm reception the players received when they came onto the pitch. When there was a good move, a goal scored or a save, it was applauded. I don't think I heard any catcalls or insults, which in the past players have been complaining about. I hope it's changed, and perhaps the absence of matches from the Accra Sports Stadium for the real hardcore fans would be that, okay, you know what, maybe we need to stop this so that the players relax and we go behind them, we support them fully. They keep saying that, oh, the fans were fabulous in Kumasi, they were great, and I'm sure the Accra fans will be thinking, well, we can actually be just as good, if not better. So maybe they've learned their lesson the hard way, and this match could be a tester to see how the fans respond, especially if it's going tough and there are no goals.
Remember, kickoff time is 3:30. Destiny, you clearly asked. Let me just go to some of your tweets. Acosta, you think that Asamoah must be ready to welcome the jeers and boos from the fans if he misses clear-cut opportunities. I wish Ghana well. You think the Black Stars will win by 4-0. Prince Amponsa, you think that the Black Stars must live up to the expectations tomorrow and win convincingly. He's asking for no lies out. You hope that ECG, you know ECG can.
It's not even needed. The game is at 3:30.
Yeah, 3:30. So you're not gonna. No, don't worry. I think that's part of the reason. A few of you picking issues with the choice of Asamoah as captain. I would rather hope that issue is put on the back burner for us to finish this game.